Rebecca Shaw from the MIT Startup Exchange, and I'll be your MC for today. I just want to say welcome. It's great to see so many of you here. I also want to introduce a couple of members of my team. Mark Stoloff, my colleague. Great. And Ari Adna Rodensi, great. Our new events person, our team's growing, happy to say. So we're really here to help make sure that you have a great day, making connections between our startups and our corporates. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We can help you out there. Maybe we can start by having a little show of hands. Who here are ILP members from our corporates? Great. All right. And how many of you are in corporate ventures? All right. Maybe half of you, this being Silicon Valley, right? And how about innovation, R&D? From the business units, from the senior executive team? And what about for startups? Here are our MIT startups. All right, great. So they're sort of clustered over there. So now you know who each others are, and please make many fruitful connections today. And now I'll tell you a bit about the MIT Startup Exchange. We've actually been making intros to our ILP members with the startups for a number of years, but in recent years, we've just seen a tremendous increase in interest. So about 5 years ago, the MIT Startup Exchange was formed to better help connect the startups, 1,800 of our MIT startups, with corporates, 260 of our ILP members. So every year we make about 600 plus introductions. And those work very well because we know the startups very well on the one hand and the corporates very well on the other. I should mention for the startups, by MIT Connection, we look at the fact that they've been founded by MIT co-founder, a founder, whether it be faculty, staff, student, and alumni, as well as if they license the MIT technology. Here are some recent stats about what we do. We have 1,800 plus startups now. The numbers are all out of date, coming from 39 countries, so all over. A lot of them concentrated in Boston area, but we also have a number here in the Silicon Valley. The last day or two, Marcus and I did a bunch of intake sessions with some of our startups, and we hope to feature them later today at 2:30. So we have some local startups that will be doing quick pitches. So hope you'll get to see that. And also between the first half of this year versus first half of last year, we've doubled the number of meetings between startups and corporates. Partly it's because we've changed some stuff up internally in terms of process. But more importantly, we're also seeing just a tremendous amount of increase in interest from our corporates to connect with these startups. Here are some of our trending technologies. You see it covers the gamut. I would say about half of the requests I get are from AI, machine learning, no wonder that's me for today's topic, right? Also data, industrial 4.0, digital transformation, IoT, so a lot of these topics. So when we start creating events for the year, we look at what our audience are actually asking for. So like last month we had an IoT workshop on campus. We also have the Sense the Nano event last month as well. So that's what we see half the time. The other half sort of runs the gamut from all around. I would say more recently we're seeing a lot of interest from folks in different industries around healthcare, just because so much of what our national and global attention is in healthcare. And also renewable energy, robotics, and actually later on this year we will have an event that Ariana's coordinating for sustainable materials and synthetic biology, because we're getting a lot of requests from folks about newer renewable materials. And these are some of the corporate partnerships we've seen with the startups. We've seen a lot of good connections coming out. And Neurologics, they're working with P&G on product recommendation. Top Flight Technology in the middle, they're working with Aizawa on bridge and bridge inspecting using drones. So these are some of the recent partnerships we just been announced. Oh, and BioBright, they're helping to provide sort of the Amazon Alexa-like the interface to Philips medical devices. You can see these big companies, they come from all around the world, covering a lot of different industries. And we're looking forward to seeing more of these partnerships happen. Hopefully some of the conversations can be started right here in the room today. This is a question I always get. How do I better connect, get from folks, which is how can I actually make that better connection with the startups? And by coming to events like today's, it's a great way to start. If your company is relatively new, trying to figure out how best to plug into startups, it's a great way to see on a topic-by-topic basis what's the latest and greatest that's happening. We typically pick, like today, about 10 startups that will each pitch for 3 to 4 minutes, followed by a networking session so you can connect more one-on-one with the startups. I should mention that by doing this, over the course of the year, we'll introduce about 100 startups, put them on stage in front of corporates. We also have the STEX 25. These are the best 25 startups that we are showcasing to our industry partners. And these cover a number of areas, including AI, as I mentioned. Actually, a couple of our startups that I'll be pitching later on today come from the STEX 25 list, like Secure AI Lab and Osaro, just over there. So you can get a flavor of our STEX 25 companies, and we have a lot more of those. Oh, and Silverthread. Great. But what about if you have a problem or interest, a challenge area that you would like to work with that's not covered by the STEX 25 or by those events you've seen? We can also help make one-on-one custom meetings based on your interest. So do talk to your program director. Can I see a show of hands on program directors here? Right. Great. These are the folks that, each of your member companies have a program director, and their job is to help you make the connections you need, whether it be with MIT faculty, for recruiting purpose, or for startups. So do reach out to them to make those connections work for you. And finally, we have, so I talked about we have the STEX 25 on top. We have about 100 companies put on stage every year based on events, and we make introductory meetings for about 200 startups every year. But we have all 1,800, so how do we actually go reach out to all 1,800? We have this open innovation platform where we post opportunities, your opportunities. It could be more general ones that you have in terms of a particular area you're interested in, or better yet, if you have a more specific problem, tell us about it in more details, so startups can better self-select to say, hey, this is the problem I can solve, and I can solve really well. So again, reach out to your program director to help make that connection work for you. Great.